There are a lot of movies coming out in 2020, and I can't wait. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Hannah's Theater. I'm Hannah, and this is my theater, and today we are talking about all of the movies that I am excited to come out this year. And there are a lot. So I would like to leave a quick disclaimer saying that just because I have not mentioned a movie in this list does not mean I'm not excited for it. Also, these are not exclusive. There are probably more films that will drop trailers later in the year that I will be like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing, I'm so excited for it, but these are just the ones we know of right now. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the very first film on my list is Dolittle. I am excited for this movie mainly because I really like adventure films and I also really love animals, and this film is both basically. I've never seen any of the previous like Dr. Dolittle films. I don't know if that's related or not. I couldn't tell you, but I am excited for this one because it's Robert Downey Jr. and a bunch of talking animals, and that's all I really needed to know. Just sign me up. No, but in all honesty, this film looks like it has a lot of heart. The trailer looks pretty good. I know the CGI isn't perfect. They're talking animals. What are you gonna do? But yeah, overall, I'm really excited to see how this one turns out. The next film on my list is Gretel and Hansel. And if you know me, you know I am a massive horror fan. I love horror. It is my favorite genre in film. When a film comes out that is able to not only captivate me, but also scare me, it's amazing. I love it. I love to get scared, even though I don't scare very easily, so when a film is actually able to achieve that, it's pretty impressive. But yeah, this one looks like a really interesting, dark, gritty take on Gretel and Hansel. On Hansel and Gretel, it also does kind of look sort of like an art house film because of all the way that it's shot is just feels very sophisticated, very artistic, so I don't know. I'm interested to see how this goes. I wonder if it's going to be one of those films that is more like a metaphor, kind of like Babadook, or if it's just going to be straight up like two kids about to get eaten, what you gonna do? The next film on my list is The Invisible Man, and I'm looking forward to this because not only do I really enjoy the Universal Monster Cinematic Universe, they have done a very different thing with this movie, and they are taking it, as opposed to the action route, it looks more like an indie horror kind of thing, maybe like a thriller, but it looks really interesting, and I know that at one point they were going to actually reboot the entire Universal Cinematic Monster Universe, but that never came to be, I think because Dracula Untold and The Mummy, which I think were both supposed to be a part of it, both didn't do very well, even though I thought that Dracula Untold was actually pretty decent. But I really do hope that they end up rebooting it, and if they were actually to take the entire universe in this sort of direction where it's less big scale, big budget, if they did the entire universe like a little small budget kind of indie horror film, that would be really cool actually. I think that would be awesome. Instead of making everything so big and grandiose, you know, you just have more like personal, intimate, psychological horror. I think that'd be a great direction to take it, but I don't work for Universal, so can't do that. The next movie on my list is A Quiet Place Part 2. Now, I absolutely loved the very first A Quiet Place, and I knew that they were coming out with a sequel. However, I guess I didn't expect it so soon. This looks really interesting. I know they're going to explore the origins of the creatures a little bit. I guess they're aliens. But I hope they don't explain too much because for me, I think that just ruins the scare. It ruins the mystery of them. But yeah, I am excited to see where this one goes just because I really enjoyed the first one. It kind of was the first big movie to start that whole sensory horror thing, you know, like we got with like Bird Box and whatnot. However, I think that this film is one of the best of its genre. So yeah, I'm really excited for part 2, looking forward to see what happens. Next up on my list is the New Mutants. Now, I am looking forward to this film. Even though it has fallen into quite a developmental hell, I believe this film was being advertised to come out soon, like 2 or 3 years ago. I swear I saw it in an AMC as a poster on the wall. Maybe I'm like not remembering correctly, but I swear I did. But I know this film has been through some stuff. I don't know exactly what was going on, whether it was creative differences or I don't know. I haven't looked into it at all, but I just know that they have greatly extended the time that they should have had to be making this film, so hopefully they were able to smooth things out and hopefully they could salvage it, because I'm actually really interested in the premise. Basically, it's these 5 young adults, I think there's 5 of them, young adults who are mutants. They basically have like supernatural powers, kind of like the X-Men. I don't know if this takes place in the same universe or not. Again, haven't looked into it that much. However, they are placed in this facility who claims that they're going to treat them, and instead it looks like they're trying to kill them or something. I don't know, experiment on them. And I don't know, it just looks really interesting. It's something like a 15-year-old me would have been really into reading, like a book, like kind of like a Maximum Ride sort of thing, but darker. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully they, I don't know, execute this movie well. The next film on my list is Black Widow. Now, when I heard that they were coming out with a Black Widow solo movie, finally, I was not only excited, but I was a little apprehensive, only because her story's basically been told. Well, I won't say her story. I thought her arc had already been kind of explained, and we know that she dies at the end of Avengers Endgame. But yeah, so I was kind of intrigued by the fact that they were going to do a prequel solo film for her, which I'm really not complaining. I love Marvel, and their movies are pretty bomb, so, you know, what can you do? The trailer for this movie almost gave me like Red Sparrow vibes, though probably not as like gritty. I don't know, maybe because they're in Russia and she's got a Russian family. I don't know, and she's like yeah, one of those. But this movie looks pretty awesome, and it's got Hopper in it, so everybody loves Hopper. Next, I want to talk about Wonder Woman 1984. This film looks really great. I'm not crazy about the DCU and the films that they put out the last several years. They haven't really been for me. However, will you quit? She is trying to ruin my setup here. She's been nudging my tripod. Stop it! You're cute, and we all know it, but you gotta quit it. I feel so rejected. Where was I? Oh yeah, so I've not been crazy about the DCU films that I've seen. However, I did think Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and probably Shazam were the three strongest? The 3 strongest that I have seen thus far, so I am excited to see a sequel. Plus, I think Gal Gadot, I think she plays a great Wonder Woman, and she just nails the role perfectly, honestly. She's just awesome. She's super kick-ass. And I'm just excited. Plus, I think Pedro Pascal is the villain in this one, which is The Mandalorian, so again, exciting cast. Looking forward to seeing this one. The next film I want to talk about is Ghostbusters Afterlife. This one came as a surprise to me. When the trailer dropped, I was like, oh, I had no idea they were doing another Ghostbusters movie. However, this one looks kind of interesting. I know it has Finn Wolfhard in it, who's just awesome. He's a great teenage actor now. And it looks like they're going to do like a kid reboot kind of thing, but I don't know, it just looks like it's really well done, and I hope it is, and I hope it's good, because I like the Ghostbusters a lot. The original Ghostbusters is my favorite, and the next film I want to talk about is Morbius. Now, the trailer for this just dropped a few days ago. I knew that they had been making this movie for a while, but I was super curious to see how it was going to go, and this movie kind of comes in the same vein as like Venom, which not everybody liked, but I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was very entertaining, and Tom Hardy's fantastic. But this one looks really interesting. I know Jared Leto has gotten the short end of the stick with the DCU, and I don't know, he ran to Marvel, I guess. Jeez. No, but this one actually looks really cool. If you don't know, Morbius is like a kind of vampire villain for Spider-Man, and there's a whole lot of speculation as to whether or not this takes place in like Spider-Man's universe, like Tom Holland Spider-Man. I don't know, it'd be interesting, because Michael Keaton, the Vulture, does show up at the end of the trailer, so that's kind of a giveaway. But we'll see. They might just be trying to trick us, get our hopes up. Hopefully that's not the case, though. I would like to see an appearance of Spider-Man in one of these movies. I think that would just be really cool. So the next 4 films I'm going to talk about do not have a trailer, unfortunately. We're still waiting. But the next movie I want to talk about is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. So not only is that an awesome title, but these are awesome movies. I think these are some of the best big budget horror movies that have come out the last few years, is Conjuring 1 and 2. I just love them, think they're fantastic. Some of the spin-offs are okay, some of them are But yeah, I'm really excited to see this one. I don't know a ton about the plot other than like what IMDb tells me. Well, IMDb says the plot's unknown, but I know that's not the case because I've heard other people talk about the plot on YouTube, so I don't know exactly what it is, but I don't know. I'm just excited for it. I love The Conjuring. I love supernatural, paranormal stuff. Hopefully, it's a good one. Next up is Venom II. We know almost nothing about this movie. However, it's a sequel to Venom, which I really, really loved. They did have Woody Harrelson kind of looking like Carrot Top at the end of the first movie, obviously as a setup for Carnage. So we'll see if they do that in this one or have other plans. I don't know. But I'm excited for it nonetheless. We're getting down to the final 2, and the next film on my list is Godzilla vs. Kong. This film was supposed to come out March of this year, however, I think it's been pushed back to... This film has been pushed back to November for whatever reason. Kind of figured that was going to happen since we didn't see any advertising or marketing for this film at all. But I am excited to see it. I thought that the Kong reboot was decent. It was okay. It wasn't crazy about it. But I've actually really enjoyed both of the last Godzilla films, especially King of the Monsters. I thought the action in that was so amazing, and the cinematography and everything in that film was just beautiful. Yeah, but hopefully they focus on the monsters in this movie and not the people. I know that's like a huge complaint with every Godzilla film, because the people do tend to be less interesting than the giant kaijus fighting in the city. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully it's good, because it's gonna be epic either way. And the very last film on my list is one that I'm crazy excited for. It's the one I'm probably looking forward to the most this year, and that is Dune. And I'm so excited for this film because it's got an amazing cast. I read the book last year, and I have seen the film, the original Dune, which is amazing, but super confusing and strange and odd, and yeah. Plus, it's being directed by Denis Villeneuve, I think that's how you pronounce it, and he's an incredible director. He did Blade Runner 2049, one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. He did Sicario. Plus, I've also heard he's like a huge Dune fan himself, so I'm really excited to see what somebody so passionate about it is going to do with it. And again, the cast is just amazing. I'm so excited for this film. I can't wait for a trailer. But yeah, guys, that is all the films I am crazy excited for thus far this year. Please let me know down in the comments what you are excited to see, because I need some recommendations of what else I can look forward to. And yeah, just thank you guys for watching this video. As always, I'm Hannah, and you've been watching Hannah's Theater. I'll see you guys next time.